Hi everyone. I'm actually using the old phone because there's a lot of storage, and for some reason I think it's maybe because I've actually migrated over to the new one. So anyway, today I wanted just to make this particular post that is actually it was actually posted and written. Yeah, written. It was a written post about toxic churches and narcissism and things like that, spiritual narcissism, because I've been talking quite a bit about that recently because I've been realizing that just now in the morning before I went to work, I was telling a friend about this book, The First Shall Be Last. Okay, the first will be last. So obviously that is actually a Bible quote about narcissists and how we can recognize them, especially from a spiritual point of view, especially from a Christian point of view. Yes, and how we are to protect ourselves, especially when this group of people are now everywhere, including even in churches. Okay, and I wanted to just get it out there because I've been telling that friend that not just about the book, one friend about not just about this book. I think it's by D.C.C. Robertson or something like that. Yeah, and then the thing is this: there are a lot of very toxic churches right now because I mean on the surface we have a lot of this these churches talking about how they are being blessed by God, how they have increase in membership, and how they have been blessed with a pastor having a lot of money and donations, everything. But the truth is the pastors are not teaching good things. The pastors are misleading people, and I think that is very toxic because at that point in time, um, I'm not going to name any particular churches, but there are some here in Singapore that especially among the the top 4 or 5 mega churches here. I mean the mega churches here. I would say at least 2 or 3 of them have had issues, and I have this theory that the pastors are probably spiritual narcissists or psychopaths, although I don't have a real proof. Okay, but some of the things that they do and say leaves much room for suspicion. Okay, and I had no choice but to cut off one or two friends, friends open and close inverted commas, because they were starting to worship the pastor more than God. Okay, so there's something wrong with that. Okay, and so I'm going to actually go on to this thing about the red flags. Okay, this the warning signs that you are in a toxic church setting or group, and that you need to actually leave as soon as possible once you detect these red flags, both for your mental health but also for your spiritual health. Okay, so this is a very common one. The first one, okay, is that the leader claims private revelation from God which contradicts the Bible, and also centuries of apostolic and patristic, that means the church fathers traditions. So yeah, I have this so-called friend. Okay, I've been telling y'all about how the way she behaved about my own health issues, my food aversion, my loss of appetite, everything, and she started judging me and everything. But the strange thing was this, when I talk about the saints, it's funny. I didn't grow up Catholic, but I was in a Catholic school, and I have a lot of respect for Catholics, although I never really converted to become a Catholic. And my third uncle's a Catholic, and one thing is this: a lot of the Catholics I know, including one of my friends who actually converted because she married a Catholic. Okay, she was Baptist before she actually charismatic Baptist before she actually converted. Okay, to become a Catholic, and she's one of the best person that I've ever seen. Okay, I've ever known. Okay, she actually attended my grandmother's funeral, and the thing is, when I was telling this that so-called friend from another friend from this new creature church about all this all this stuff, and she was like full of her own nonsense about how those positive thinking things. Okay, the one thing is this: when the pastor claims to be having some private revelation from God, okay, and this private revelation, okay, contradicts centuries and centuries and years of apostolic and patristic tradition, do not have any fellowship with these kind of people. Okay, and not just that, but the members too, because you know what she told me once, something that was like, oh, I don't really care about the saints. No, you should care, because you know why? Because they have been around for centuries, and one thing, they are part of this community, the great cloud of witnesses we have been seeing. Okay, and what makes you think that these people are not with God? Okay, And then you have people like that asking me stuff about the Nicene Creed and all these apostolic creeds and saying that it's no use. No, they are the basis and foundation of our own faith as Christians. Okay, so you know what? That's the first thing. The pastor claims private revelation. Okay, red flag. Okay, the next red flag is that the pastor and the members claim believe in some hyper grace theology. Okay, this thing is a very big thing right now. You know what they say about hyper grace theology? They say that there's a division between the Old Testament and the New Testament. That there's a difference between law and grace, and that we are now under law grace. So you know what? What's the problem with this? The problem is this with this kind of so-called hyper grace theology is that they are always hiding something. Okay, I'll say again, they're hiding something. It's the license to sin, license to go do something that is very sinful. There's no need to change, and the pastors are probably hiding something. I don't know what they're hiding. Maybe they're hiding the fact that they're using us for their money to accumulate wealth. We don't know. Okay, but once they talk about hyper grace, run for the fucking hills. Okay, I seriously mean it. And the thing is this: if you just do anything as much as question their false claims, okay, some of which are always out of context, they will start gaslighting you. They will call you legalistic immediately. No, you're not legalistic. Okay, the Old Testament exists because God gave us the law to let us know where we fall short. And if you were to just say that the law is evil or whatever, you're saying that you're committing the fault that this not Old Testament, this people, these heretics like the Gnostics like Marcion, okay, during the 2nd century, who claim that the Old Testament, the God is a different God from the New Testament God. That is a total heresy. Okay, so people like all these hyper grace teachers and everything, they are misleading you. Okay, run. There's another red flag. Red flag number 2. Okay, red flag number 3. The leader and members teach and adhere to a name it and claim it theology. Basically, they claim that if you are Christian, you are entitled to good health, wealth, prosperity, and a long life. Okay, so the inverse, what's the inverse? The inverse is that you do not enjoy all these things, these so-called good things, because you know what? According to them, you don't have faith and you're not faithful to God. So this is used to gaslight you and scapegoat you. Basically, it's like God has really marked you down according to them. Again, big lie. Okay. The next one is that, okay, this is something that I can vouch for. The leadership, okay, and the members prevent you from having access to mental health support and also mental health care. Okay. So what did they do? They actually call this mental health care things like visiting the psychologists and psychiatrists different names, different insults. They say that is worldly, satanic, unchristian, anti-Christian, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. That's a big lie. Okay, and next one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, red flag number 5. The leadership and members ascribe every sickness, okay, including mental health, or not just mental health, physical illness too. They ascribe every sickness to a demon or devil and then proceed to conduct a deliverance session when someone is sick. I've never seen anyone who recover from that. In fact, you know what? After praying for the so-called people whom they claim to be demonized, okay, you know what? Or who has been sick because of a demon, they are still sick. Some of them, in fact, really dead by now. Red flag. Okay. Next one. The leadership and members try to control your personal life, including the subjects you study in school and university, your school of choice, your dating partner, okay, or even marital partner and friends. You know what? They don't have the right to do that. Okay, this is something you have to learn. Even if it's a mistake, you have to learn from the mistake. Okay, doing that is coercion, emotional coercion. Okay, can be prosecuted in some countries. Okay, so at times they even try to come between you and your family members. Okay, what did they do? They cause discord and dissension between them. Okay, I watched a few videos. Someone has claimed that one of the church pastors here of the mega churches, okay, the one who actually teaches the naming and claiming gospel, okay, prosperity gospel. He has caused dissension between her and her father, okay, once she left the church. Red flag, okay. Okay, last one. Last red flag. The leadership and members apply one standard of judgment for you, okay, but they never admit that standard of judgment for themselves. You know why? They assume that they are above it, okay. There's no one who's above the law, okay. And just because you're a so-called Christian doesn't mean that you can do anything and get away with everything, okay. God will chastise you, okay. And when he chastises you and when he calls you to a task, don't be surprised you end up in hell, okay. So you know what, for your own sake though, this is not for us to say whether they're going to go to hell or whatever, but we are not going to be in this kind of setting where we keep on hearing their nonsense, their heresy, and you know what, the blind leading the blind. They can go to hell if they choose to, but they are leading us to hell too. We are not to join them, okay. So that's it anyway for now, okay. I'm going to go off and yeah, these are the things I can vouch for it. All these people who do all this kind of stuff, that's one form of spiritual narcissism. Run for cover, okay. Okay, bye bye.